Hey there, good evening if you're watching this live. And depending on when you're watching this and where you're watching this from, I'll say good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. And I thank you for joining me for day number 14. I'm sharing this on some pages if you're wondering why I'm not looking at the screen here. Um, but I want to appreciate you for tuning in and thank you for your patience while I share this in a few places. I do apologize for my lateness tonight. Actually, um, long day. It's Sunday. You know, Sundays are long for me, so we're a little late tonight. We're very late. Several hours late. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're on day number 14, and thank you for joining me here. And tonight's topic is for day number 14. This is a thought that came to me on last night. It also came through real life experience. So I'm using my life experience to give you a message. So the topic tonight is the thing that irritated you. Hey there, hey, I'm so glad you're here. I hadn't seen you in a while. So glad you're here, dear. Well, tonight's topic is the thing that irritated you didn't come to irritate you. Well, let's say it didn't just come to irritate you, it came to elevate you. Let's talk about it. You ready? Let's talk about it. Tired of that noise. Sorry, I had to take my bracelets off. So today I want to expand on something. I kind of touched on this yesterday, so it's almost a continuance from yesterday. So we're going to kind of almost pick up on yesterday's. Um, but let's talk about this. I started realizing something about my situations in my life, and they frustrated me. I'm talking about situations that irritated the piss out of me. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Situations that got under my skin, people that got under my skin, behavior that got under my skin, reactions and responses that got under my skin. Do you understand me? Situations, people, and scenarios that got under my skin and irritated me. Like I said, irritated the piss out of me. All right. But here's what hit me right when I had those thoughts. What hit me were these words, and I believe it's that still small voice that many call God or Spirit. And that thing, that voice spoke so ever so tenderly to me as a knowing, not as a well, I'm not going to say not as an audible voice, but as a knowing. And then those words just came up in my spirit, in my heart. The thing that irritated you didn't come just to irritate you, it came to elevate you. Ah, my goodness. So when we miss that meaning, guys, we miss a very important moment. Most of the time, when something happens in our lives that irritates us, frustrates us, pisses us off, angers us, or something along those lines, even makes us sad, makes us mad, whatever the case is, we typically do one of two things. We either one, we focus on the situation, or we focus on the people or the person or the things involved in the situation or the places involved in the situation, whatever the case is. And usually, let's be honest, there are almost always some type of, in some way, people are involved on some level. Okay. So here's the problem though. When we focus only on the situation or on the person, we miss a very important opportunity for growth. Because what's really happening, we're reacting, we're being led by ego, and because of that, we're not present. Okay? And remember, presence is where God lives. Presence, stillness. Okay? So When we focus only on the situation or the people that's involved in the situation, we're not present. We're being led by ego. We get angry, we get frustrated, we react, and we never stop to ask the important question, because this is what's supposed to happen, guys. What irritated you did not come just to irritate you, it came to elevate you. And in order for this to take place, you've got to stop and ask a very important question. And that is, what is this moment trying to teach me about me? Oh my goodness. That is the thing that was spoken to my spirit, and it shifted my whole consciousness last night. It shifted my world. It made my brain shake. Basically, it's like spirit was saying to me, stop looking at the situation. Stop focusing on the people involved in the situation. Stop focusing on the scenario that irritates you, and ask yourself the important question, what is this moment trying to teach me about me? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here's the part that changed my perspective. That moment didn't just happen to frustrate you. No need of rebuking devils and demons. And honestly, I'm up for a little cussing somebody out every now and then. But honestly, that's ego. No need to cuss somebody out. No need to do that, because that's not what this moment is all about. And you're missing the power of the moment. There are no devils to rebuke, because guess what? It wasn't a devil that designed this moment. You got to understand, God is the all. God is that which is in all, of all, breathing and living through all. You see, so understand this. It's not a devil that needs to be rebuked. That moment was designed by God. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. God is good. What y'all say? What do most church people say all the time? God is good. And what comes after that, y'all? All the time. All the time? Well, let's find the goodness of God. If that's true, then we got to find the goodness of God even in this moment. And that is the thing. This moment or that moment, it didn't just happen to frustrate you. It didn't just happen to irritate you. That moment was designed by God not to punish you, not to embarrass you, not to break you, but to elevate you. It was not just to irritate you, but to elevate you. But in order for you to experience that elevation, we go back to what we've been talking about all of these 14 days. In order for you to experience that elevation, it requires awareness. It requires that you stop in that moment and, excuse me, it requires you to take a pause, you see. And because I don't want you to miss this part, guys. Yeah, brother, that's right. And my brother said there is no devil. Well, I beg to differ, because what the devil means, and I'm agreeing with you, brother. I'm not debating, but I'm going to take it to another level. My brother said there is no devil, and that's what he means. He means there is no literal devil, but yet there is a devil, because the word devil means that which, the word Satan means that which stands between and gets in the way. The word devil means adversary. Well, there is a Satan. There is somebody that's getting in the way, and it's you. There is a devil that's being the adversary, and it is yourself. It is me. Okay, it is us. We are the devil that needs to be rebuked. But what this moment is all about, guys. Hey, my brother, God bless you. So glad to see you. What this moment is all about, it's supposed to be a time, and don't miss this, it's about stopping. It's about breathing. We've been talking about this for about 3 days. It's about being still. Psalm 46, be still and know. And what comes after that? And know that God. See, that's where God lives. God lives in the stopping. God lives in the stillness. That's where God manifests, in the stillness. When you stop and you breathe. But when you react, you miss God. When you respond, you miss God. But when you stop and allow there to be stillness, be still and know. Know means to be intimate. Become intimate with the moment, become present in that moment, become a part of that moment. Knowing that the moment is not your enemy, the moment is not your adversary, the moment is not demonic, but the moment is a part of your experience. And it was designed by God to teach you a lesson. So that's when you stop. This is about stopping, guys. This is about breathing, because that matters, because breath is where God comes in. God is a spirit. The word spirit is pneuma. The word pneuma actually means breath. Breathe and experience God before reacting, before responding, before getting angry, before sending that text. Stop. Before raising your voice. Before, and I love a good cussing, I must admit, but that's my ego. But before cussing that person out, you stop. You breathe. And in that breath, that pause, that presence, that's where God has now shown up. You ask yourself that one simple, beautiful, but powerful question: what did this moment come to teach me about me? Not what did this moment come to show me about them. Not what did this moment come to expose about them or about this situation. But what did this moment come to teach me about me? Because the breath, you stop and you breathe, because the breath reconnects you to spirit. The breath reconnects you to God. The breath quiets the ego. The breath brings your awareness back online. And that changes everything. When you stop and breathe, you shift your ego. You shift really out of your ego and you shift back into God consciousness. You remember that God, when you breathe in, out, and through, in, out, and through, you remember that God is not outside of you trying to fix the moment, but God is within you trying to teach you through the moment. So the irritation that you experienced, it wasn't random. The frustration, it wasn't accidental. The moment, it wasn't meaningless. It came with a lesson attached. But you can only hear the lesson when you stop, be still, and know. When you stop, when you breathe, when you look inward. So every time something irritates you, try it. Stop, be still, breathe, and then ask, what did this moment come to teach me about me? When it happens again, guys, and it will, ain't no probably about it. Ask, because it's going to happen again. Then ask it again. Ask the question again. What did this moment come to teach me about me? Because when you do that, you don't just leave the situation irritated, you leave elevated. Are you hearing me? Yeah, when you do that, you don't just leave the situation irritated, you leave the situation elevated. We've been talking a lot about ego versus awareness. See, ego says to you when you're in those scenarios and situations, ego says, why did they do that? Ego says, this should not have happened. Ego says, they're wrong. Ego says, I don't deserve this. But awareness says, what is this moment trying to teach me about me? That question just shifts everything because now the focus is not outward, the focus is inward. Now, let me say this because this is important. Just because you blew up, just because you reacted, just because you got angry, just because, like me, can I get a witness? Just because you messed it up, like me, because I did it over and over again, just because you messed it up. As a matter of fact, I said today, I'm not going to say the word here, but I said today, I said, man, I just keep effing up. I was thinking about different things like, man, I effed up again. I keep effing up, you know? But just because you effed up doesn't mean that you missed the lesson forever. Okay? Because you can go back, and that's what I want y'all to do. Go back in those moments when you feel like, dang, man, I responded in my flesh, my ego. God. Go back to those. I don't care if it's 5 years ago. Go back in your mind to 5 years ago. It could be something that happened yesterday. It could be something that happened 3 months ago. It could be something, like I said, that happened years ago. But right now and today, you can pause. You can be still. Reflect back on that moment and ask, what was that moment trying to teach me about me? You're still growing, guys. You're still evolving. You're still elevating. So just because you feel like you messed up a moment, no, you didn't. You didn't mess up a moment. It can still elevate you. Just go reflect back on that moment and see that moment again in your mind's eye. Come on, can we just do that together right now? Can you think about a moment when you feel like you flubbered? I'm gonna say you flubbered up. Okay, I won't use the bad word. You flubbered up. Or never mind. Let's just keep that. You flubbered up. Let's look back at that real quick in our mind and let's remove all the judgment because God, spirit, whatever you call it, it doesn't judge. He doesn't judge. Whatever pronoun you want to attach to it, she, he, it doesn't judge. So don't you judge. That's your ego that's judging. Tap into your God nature, and it doesn't judge. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge how you reacted. Don't even judge your behavior. I don't care if you acted like a damn fool. Don't judge your behavior. Just look back over that moment where you flubbered up. Look back over that moment right now and ask yourself, what was that moment trying to teach me about me? Hmm. And breathe in the lesson and allow the lesson to be. I'm going to end this. Get ready to bring this to a close. But I want you, after today, I want you to put this lesson tonight into practice. The next time something irritates you, the next time somebody irritates you, remember when it irritates you, when they irritate you. Not if, but when, because it's going to happen. When they irritate you, when it irritates you, I want you to remember to ask yourself, pause and ask yourself, this very thing that irritates me, what is it trying to teach me about me? Is it teaching you about patience? Is it teaching you about not being always in control? Is it teaching you about your ego? Is it teaching you about your fear? Is it teaching you about unhealed wounds? Is it teaching you about insecurity? Is it teaching you about expectations, boundaries, communications. What is it teaching you? And then ask, when this happens again, what is this trying to teach me about me? Because again, it's going to happen again. There's a difference between being irritated and elevated. And you don't have to just leave irritated, guys. But if we don't pause and reflect, you'll only leave irritated. But if we practice awareness, if we stop, if we be still, let God come into the moment through breath. Be still and allow God in. That's God right there. Allow God to exist in the stillness. We don't have to leave irritated. If we just pause, breathe, and reflect. But if we don't pause and reflect, we only leave irritated. But if we practice awareness, if we stop, if we become present, if we analyze ourselves instead of attacking others, we don't just leave irritated, we leave elevated. And that's the difference. The situation didn't change. The person on the other side or in the situation may not change, but you did. And that's growth. That's elevation. Guys, as I close this thing out tonight, this is spiritual work. That's what this is. This is spiritual work. Not reacting, not shouting, not defending, not proving your point. But the spiritual work is awareness, presence, reflection, introspection. This is how ego gets transformed into wisdom. This is how frustration becomes instruction. And this is how irritation transcends. And no, you know what the word is? What's the word I want to use? Not transcends. Goodness, I just lost the word. It doesn't matter. I can't think of the word. Now, this is when irritation becomes elevation. So hear me clearly. Everything that irritates you is not an enemy. Some things irritate you because they're trying to teach you about you. And the moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me? Why are they like that? And start asking, what is this teaching me about me? Then you move from reaction to receiving revelation about you. All right, let's go. Affirmation tonight: I will not miss the moment. I will pause. I will breathe. I will reflect. I will grow. What irritates me will elevate me. That's our affirmation of tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining in with me tonight for day number 14 of Everyday Spirituality. If this message has helped, well, all of these messages are helping you grow. If it's shifting the way you see your life and the way you see the life around you, if it's teaching you how to move from ego to awareness, as always, I want to invite you to be a closer and more intimate part of my life. I want you to be a part of the Spiritual Life Center. It's a place where we grow together, we reflect together, and we elevate together. We transcend and we ascend, okay, into a higher level of consciousness and into, for those of you that are spiritual or Christians or however you phrase that terminology, for those of you that believe in a God, it brings us not just higher, but closer to God. It brings to pass the purpose of Christ, who, when he was called Emmanuel, which meant God with us. So Christ showed up to show us God is with us. All right. God is right here. All right. So I want to invite you to be a part of my spiritual life. You can join in person at the Spiritual Life Center every Sunday at 12 noon at 1519 Bartow Place. You can also join in online around 1 p.m. every Sunday and be a part of our virtual family. Hey, I think you need to be there. You belong here at the Spiritual Life Center. Oh, yes, you do. It's a place where we acknowledge the God outside of us without ignoring the God inside of us. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me today. I hope you have a good day. I love you so much. God bless you. And God be you. Because the God in you is what animates your body. All right. Have a good night. Love you so much. Good night, y'all.